Communication, the forefront to our society. So simple yet so complex. Over the past millions of years, our way of communicating with each other has changed drastically. Today is no different. Today we shall dive into the future of communication. This is Rec Room, a free, interactive video game that lets you create an avatar, interact with others, and make games. It's a social hangout that gives you the ability to express yourself in any way you want, with facial expressions, hand gestures, dancing, and art. Rec Room gives its users endless ways to interact and communicate with others. So I want to use Rec Room as an example of what's to come. I want to explore Rec Room's communities and games to see how people interact with each other in this kind of environment, and ask them what they think of Rec Room and where they think our means of communication is going. And so, I decided to spend a month in Rec Room. This is the central hub of Rec Room, and usually the first place everyone goes to socialize. For my first few days, I wanted to stay here and see what the community was like. But my first experience with it was odd. I found the majority of people either breaking the rules.
That doesn't mean you can't be like big bitch.
I could give a fuck. Or not talking at all. I felt isolated and a bit nervous. But I also felt motivated to talk with others. Whether that was because they can't see me and judge me, or if it was because of others also trying to socialize. I found the rec center was the best place to go if you wanted to just mess around. While the moderation worked, no one actually followed the rules. Everyone just had fun or stayed to themselves. It was a anarchy-like mess.
The rec center? It's a very toxic place.
Sometimes I wish I could just find people that weren't spammers.
My next stop was quests. This is one of Rec Room's main activities that provides an example of what people can make and a source of fun. It's a dungeon crawler that you and your team have to fight through to reach the end. It's a way to experience teamwork and team communication. Just like the Rec Center, I dedicated a few days to just quests so I can experience their community and what it's like playing with them as a team. From what I have found, people here are even more likely to not have mics or want to talk. But the ones who did socialize were delightful people. I never had an instance of somebody being rude or breaking the rules, besides a few new players who were just trying to get used to the game. It felt like a breath of fresh air compared to the rec center and was really fun. I would often find myself retrying the quests over and over with others until we finished it. The questing community are amazing people. It's one of the funnest places on Rec Room, where you can go and not have to worry about being yelled at for sucking, or being insulted for your looks. From my experience, I would say this is one of the best communities inside of Rec Room, and one of the safest places to just go and relax. My third stop was sports. This is Rec Room's most competitive activity. It involves games such as dodgeball, soccer, paintball, and laser tag. And with competitive spirit comes energy. All these games had me on my toes, ready to jump. They were a blast to play, and the people in them were just as enjoyable to be around. The community here was much like the community in Quest, rather quiet, but when they did want to speak, they most often than not were nice people. The few that were rude didn't stay for long, as they were often vote-kicked for poor sportsmanship or being rude. Each one of the games had different people playing them, and always kept the game feeling fresh. Sports felt like the shortest of the 4 weeks. It was one of the funnest too. The community, combined with the games, often made for a wonderful mix, where you get lost for hours, having fun. I only had one instance where someone was really being rude, but even then, I had the entire server help me kick them, and we went back to having fun, as if he was never there. I found the sports community to be almost as nice as the questing community, and would consider it the second safest place on Rec Room. Finally, my last stop was custom rooms. These are player-made rooms that can be shaped into anything you want, such as games, art, or hangouts. These rooms had the most amount of people willing to socialize in them, but it was also one of the most chaotic and challenging to socialize in. It felt both more and less chaotic than the rec center, with the high density of people and low amount wanting to be cooperative with others. But this didn't stop me. I found enjoyable people to chat with and beautiful places to relax in. The art in these rooms are amazing and gave plenty of new ideas for different art styles and pieces. I found the style in these rooms to have been created due to a lack of precise shapes and limited resources. The games were often just as amazing and creative. I found various different game types such as hide and seek, water gun fights, and custom races. I felt like I spent the most time here, as it offered a wider array of communities due to the unique nature of user-made rooms. I really enjoyed exploring other people's works of art and didn't mind the communities too much, but I do wish more people followed the rules, or the moderation was enforced more, as a lot of people broke them. Over the past month, I had time to think about just how important digital communication is to our society. It helps us figure out what's going on around the world, how our friends and family are doing overseas, and sorting business issues from home. But I never understood how often we use body language to portray what we want. Not until I played Rec Room. After playing Rec Room and being allowed to use my whole body to communicate, it helped me realize how important it is for us to be there when we talk with others. Rec Room allowed me to communicate more effectively by allowing me to use my body while not having to be in the same room. But this isn't the only thing that Rec Room could be used for. It's also a platform that encourages creativity with its game creator, and monthly contests. All this does come with some downsides that need to be considered if it's to be looked at for the future. And the major one is moderation. Well, yes, Rec Room was fun and enjoyable to play. I had way too many encounters with people being racist, sexist, or homophobic. It was way too common for what should be acceptable. But the thing that really stumped me was that the reporting feature did work. Whenever I reported someone, I would get a notification saying that they were banned within a day. It's almost as if the community never wants people to be banned, and a large portion of them prefer this lawless land rather than a more strict, safer place for others. Even with all the flaws, I still think Rec Room's the future for our communication. It allows us to interact with others more effectively and talk with them more effectively. With the rising popularity of VR, it'll enhance it even further. Though Rec Room may be in a chaotic state right now, it'll still stand as a perfect example for what's to come.